Drop the roof and let the smoke clear. I got diamonds doing tussie slides in both ears. Dice rolling on the Las Vegas Strip tonight.
What am I looking like? Am I looking cute? Hello, and welcome back to my channel, everyone. It's jelissaaaliyahxo here. Today, we are celebrating the month of February. That is the month of love, hence why the setup has changed a little bit. You know, I got some red, sharing the love. We are going to get into some story times that are based on that kind of thing, you know, about relationships, experiences that have impacted me in some way. If you don't know, these series are literally about my experiences in life, things that have shaped me into who I am today, things that have traumatized me, things that have just woken me up to the BS. To start the month of love, we are going to get into the story time of when I was in a long distance relationship. How do I start this one? This is so like unheard of, unspoken. Nobody knows this story. I was about 20 to 21 years old. I was working hard. I was super driven in regards to saving my coins. Like, that was what I was about. It was about giving myself any and everything that I wanted. I was about helping others. I was just like very serious. I was very serious for a young person. Like, I wasn't outside. I wasn't out like that. One day I was just bored out of my mind. I was just like, I'ma download a dating app. Oh, I cannot. My intention was not to meet anybody. My intention was not to take anyone serious. I just wanted some type of entertainment because, like I said, I was not outside. I was not going outside. I was not meeting people. I went and got this app and it was called Kick. It was a random app that literally could talk to any and everybody from around the world. I downloaded it and it was just weird. Like, it was just full of weird, lonely, sad people, and I was just like not feeling it really. Not to toot my own horn, but like, people were really amazed at my image and I was just like, can't someone that looks like me be here? I was confused because a lot of the time anyone that would talk to me, they would ask me to like prove I am me, and I was just like, I ain't got time for that. You are not calling me and we are not in video time so you can see I am me. So I was just like, you know, like, believe what you want to believe, end of. In the midst of this, I met, let's call him Nathaniel. One day Nathaniel pops up and he's talking to me and he's like different. Like, he's not talking to me on a chat up kind of vibe. He's not being weird. He's just talking to me natural, like normal, like a friend. And obviously that was more of the vibe I was looking for. Bear in mind, all of my friends from school, college, that type of thing, they all went on to university and I did not go to uni. I went straight to work. I was about my money immediately. So I did an apprenticeship in journalism and then after that I went to work. Yeah, I kind of needed this extra thing to feel like I have someone to talk to. Fast forward, me and Nathaniel are talking for a long time and it becomes a thing where now talking to each other first thing in the morning on my way to work. He was talking to me on my lunch break. He was talking to me when I'm going home. He was talking to me at nighttime before I go to bed. Like, we were just constantly speaking to each other. And bear in mind, Nathaniel never ever had a picture up of himself. So I didn't actually know who I was talking to. At the time, I didn't care. Like, I didn't care because he wasn't being weird and he wasn't being super personal. He wasn't asking me anything inappropriate. So I didn't feel the need to be like, who is this person I'm talking to? I just knew he was a male. I knew his name. I knew his age. And I just ran with that. Like, he knew me because he could see my profile photo. It's like a year since I started talking to Nathaniel. I kind of like sharing more deep rooted emotions for each other. Like, we just connected by speaking and there was no like manipulation of emotion. It was natural. We were just caring about each other and worried about each other if someone had like an issue or anything like that. We just was like so into each other's lives that it just felt like, okay, I kind of like you. We ended up falling in like with each other because I was so like innocent. I just felt like, oh my gosh, like this is my first real person that I like in life. And I didn't care when he told me that he was Romanian and he lived in Romania. Told me he was in agriculture, that's what he did for a living, so he was basically a farmer. I was like, oh, that's so cool, like you care for animals, you care for the world. Like I was seeing it as somebody having a good heart, and I am someone that has a good heart too, so I was just like, that is so sweet. Like I've never met someone with such a wholesome job, so that's why I was just like really connected with it. Became apparent that he had like a crush on me or whatever, and I was just like, oh, that's so cute. Eventually, because we liked each other so much, he decided that he was going to send me a picture of himself, because his profile photo was of the clouds in the sky on a sunny day, and it was just scenery. Like it was not anything to do with him. I don't know my reaction to it, but I just know he was super nervous and worried that that is the end of like us and I would not talk to him again. Because the way he did it, it was like we each gave each other like good night message, and then we just went to bed, and I just woke up to his picture in the morning. And I can't lie, I don't think I responded straight away. I needed to really take it in that he had sent me this picture, and I was just like, OMG, I know what he looks like. He was a white male, and in my life I've never looked there, not for any specific reason. They never really looked at me, so I was confused. I was kind of in a bit of a shock that he was Romanian and he liked a black girl, and I was just like, this is kind of strange. But I was just like, you know what, you're a really sweet person, and I can't explain to you what it's like to fall in love to fall in love with somebody without seeing them. I don't know how to explain it. It just happened naturally for us. So I accepted how he looked. He wasn't looking crazy or anything like that. He just was very slim. Oh, I don't want to say fragile looking, but he was quite soft, like a soft kind of nerdy almost guy, and that wasn't something I was physically attracted to. It wasn't like a no-go, but it was like if I had one, it wasn't my type. But because we invested so much time communicating and liking each other and laughing with each other through communication, it was like his image no longer mattered to me. The real stuff now. It's like been, I want to say, a whole 2 years of talking to each other consistently every day, expressing love for each other, expressing emotions, and even say we love each other at this point. I'm now thinking to myself, I don't really want to have a long distance relationship that I cannot be with you. So I just say to him one day, like, me being me, I just said to him, how would you feel about me coming to see you? And he was just like, you want to do that? Like, you actually want to do that? And I was like, yeah, like, I know it's not the reason why we're like on this app or anything. I know that's not what brought us here, but we're here now. And I was just like, I want to come and see you. I want to see you in person so that I know how I really feel about us, if this is like something I want. So I can't believe I did this. Like, I actually did this, guys. I really did this. So I'm telling him, tell me what city he is in Romania, and I'm googling flights from London to Romania. And obviously I'm working in retail, so I have to go by like how many holidays I can have for that year. and it was coming up to the first month of when you can do that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna book for March or something like that, and then I'm gonna surprise him. I sent him my ticket, the online version. I sent him that, and I showed him that I'm coming to see you, and he was just like in shock but happy, but also nervous because it meant that I'm actually gonna see him now in real life. And not once did I get afraid to go and see a stranger. Like, not once was I scared of that. I don't know what had come over me. I was just in a whole bravery, like, this is what I want to do kind of vibe. I go to Romania by myself. I tell my mom, like, oh, I'm so interested in Romania and I just really want to see the city for myself. Back in the day, I used to love vampires, like Twilight days. Anybody that knows me knows I loved vampires, and to know they came from Romania, I was just like, yeah, I'm rolling with that story. So I told my mom, it's only right I go see the country. That's what I told her. And she's like, okay, like, you like to explore, I understand, like, be safe and contact me while you're there. I was like, okay. I go on a flight to Romania, and when I get there, I have a nervous poop inside me. Like, my belly starts to boil up because I'm in realization mode. As soon as I landed, realization mode came to me, and I was like, I'm meeting a stranger. I could go missing if he turns out to not be that nice person that I was talking to. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I need a poop. So I go toilet, and obviously after that I have to freshen up, like I have to wash my butt, apply makeup, and just look exactly how I present myself in my pictures. And I go out to the arrivals, and I'm like, where are you? Where are you? Because remember, guys, I have only seen one picture of him, and it's not enough to see his whole body. It wasn't a whole body picture that he sent me. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know which one you are, because I'm in Romania with a load of Caucasian people, and you all kind of blend and look the same. Like, there was nothing specific about him that would stand out to know that's him. At this point, we have each other on WhatsApp, so I'm texting him, and I'm like, where are you? Like, this whole time he's probably already there looking at me. I just see this guy that is like not very different in height to me come up to me, and he's like, hey. I'm like, ah! I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect him to be like an inch or two taller than me. So I was just like taken aback by his height being almost leveled with me. It probably wasn't like that, but I like tall guys, so he wasn't a tall guy. He wasn't considered a tall guy. I give him like the most awkward hug in life, and he takes my luggage and we go to his car. He drives us to his family home in Bucharest. We're just talking, and we're just kind of like in shock that we're in each other's presence. I'm still in shock that he's a shorter guy and how soft his voice is, because bear in mind, we never spoke on the phone either, guys. Like, he never heard my voice. We literally was just talking by text every single day. Like, I sent him pictures of my day with me in it, and that is it. Like, we never spoke on the phone, nothing like that. So imagine meeting someone for the first time at the airport, and now you're going to his home, and now you're just like realizing everything about him in one day. Almost 1 a.m. when I arrived. So he's having to drive from the airport to his parents' house, because like in Romania they have so many different houses. He takes me to his family home that they've built from scratch. It's like the most beautiful home I've ever seen. It's nighttime, so we're just ready for bed, and I realized, oh my god, like I'm about to take my makeup off and just be completely me with a guy that I just met today, even though I've known him for 2 years, but not physically. So I'm just like, oh, I have to do all this. Like, it wasn't easy because I never slept with a man. I was never been intimate with a man. I was not that type of girl. Like, I was pure. A lot was happening for me. I'm like stalling and he's realizing I'm stalling. So he's like, are you okay? Is everything all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm just trying to find my night clothes. These times the night clothes are right in my face. Like, is the first thing in my suitcase. But I was just like stalling because I was worried what to do. I didn't know what to do. And I don't know if like, I wasn't sure what the vibe was. I wasn't sure what was his intention for the first night. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, is he gonna want to kiss me? Is he gonna want to touch me? Is he gonna want to go there with me? Oh my God, I'm scared, like, ah! And I bring myself back to common ground. Breathe, Jay, you've got this. Like, this isn't, yes, this is a kind of stranger, but you've known him for 2 years. And it's not like he's catfished you and he's someone completely different. He's the same person. It's just that you're seeing him in real life. So I'm like, okay, I'm not in danger. He's not scary. Breathe. He gets into bed and I get into bed with him. And my first instinct is to just like cuddle. So I cuddle him, he cuddles me, and we're kind of both like laying on our backs, looking up at the ceiling and just like in awe of the fact that we actually made it here in the same room together, touching each other, smelling each other. Everything was just surreal. We sleep, nothing happens that day. Next day, I believe he was taking me to this place. Like, this is where the beach is and like, shopping centres. Because Bucharest is a very busy, outdated, old-looking city that is just like overwhelming. He drove like, I want to say 3 hours, checked in to an apartment. Everything was going good, you know, everything was going well. We had a good relationship. We were still like laughing and joking with each other. We even shared a bath together, like it was crazy. Without saying it, he was my first everything and I experienced that on that holiday. And from then, you know, the holiday went well, everything went well. We fell in love with each other even more. I returned home. I feel like I visited him twice more before the relationship ended because he was quite reserved. He didn't speak up a lot about his feelings. He was very mysterious in that way. Like, you never knew if something was wrong with him. You never knew if he was happy or sad. He never, like, his face was just so chill all the time. No matter the context of the conversation, he was so chill, and sometimes he would giggle and sometimes he would laugh, but most of the time he was very serious. So I just remember on the days of our endings, obviously we're doing a long distance, I'm booking flights, and fair enough, when I went there he never ever made me pay for anything. So I literally would just book my flight, he would pay for accommodation, and he would like take care of food, and anywhere we were going he was taken care of, and he had a car, so we never had to worry about paying for travels. So he handled his manly duties and I was happy with that, even though it wasn't something we spoke on. It was just something he naturally did. Like, it's not like I said, oh, if I'm coming to see you, you need to pay for this, this and this. It was not like that. He just naturally said, you know what, she's coming to see me, like, I'm gonna just handle it. Because I came there with money. Like, I changed my money into Romanian lei and I was ready to spend, but he never ever let me. So I would always go back with the money, or I would just use the money for like gifts and things to bring back for my family. But even then he would want to buy that too. So he was just like really sweet and charming and adorable. On our last days together, I was back home working and I just felt like he was acting a bit different with me and I didn't know why. And on our last holiday we went to like this really beautiful house in like the woods, and it was like at the mountains, because I told him I really wanted to see the mountains because they have such beautiful scenery there. And he took me to the mountains and he took me on those cable cars and it was just so beautiful. You walked down the lanes together hand in hand. It was just like a beautiful blossoming love story. People were kind of staring at us as a black woman and a white man. It was kind of unheard of, unseen in Romania, especially then. I don't know how it is now, but back then you didn't see that. So a lot of people would walk past us and say something to him in Romanian, and he would respond to them, and then he'd have to tell me what that was and that kind of vibe. And if they didn't greet him, they would kind of like give me a look to be like, what are you doing here and why are you taking one of ours? I was at home and I just felt like he was being a bit distant with me, so I asked him, is everything okay? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? He's like to me, yeah. He's just like unsure of what he wants. And I was like, what you want in terms of what? He's like, in terms of what I want in life. I'm like, okay, you're allowed to have moments where you don't know what you want, because also his agriculture job was stemmed from his family. Like, it was a family business, and it was like something he had to do regardless of interest he may have like outside of that. I was just like, you're confused about what? Like, about us? And he's like, maybe. I was like, Nathaniel, this is not a time for you to be uncertain. This is not a time to be like, maybe. And speak to me properly. Like, let me know so that I know how to move with you. I would literally appreciate a man talking to me in a way that may upset me than a way that's confusing me. So I said to him, get to the chase. He was like, oh yeah, like for a while now I've been feeling like I don't know what I want, and that includes you too. And I was like, so what are you trying to say? Like, you want to break up? He's like, yeah, I want to break up. And I was like, okay. I was devastated. I was hurt. I was heartbroken. Like I said, he was my first everything, and I really thought I had found love in a really random way. I did try and fight for it. I really did, but I was just like, do you know what? I'm probably better off dating someone that is in the country rather than spending money to go and see them and then having a breakdown at the airport, crying my eyes out, looking through the window as I take off. Like, that's what I was doing. I was having breakdowns every time I said bye to him. Every single time I had to go through security, I was crying first, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know when I'm gonna see you again, because it's all on me. And you know, I couldn't just go whenever I wanted to. I had to work, and then when my holiday said I could go. So yeah, I think I saw him 3 times, and after that we broke up, and that was it. But yeah, that is a story of when I was in a long distance relationship. The girl has been through some things in life, but I appreciate that relationship. It was different. It taught me a lot. So I don't look back and hate the experience, but do I recommend a long distance relationship? Probably not. Nah, probably not. But yeah, thank you for commenting and subscribing to my channel. Continue to press that like button. Share my video if you love Jesus. I'm here to spread my wisdom. I'm using my past experiences to prevent you guys from going through what I went through. And I'll see you in the next video.
Until she slides in both ears. Dice rolling on the Las Vegas strip tonight.